Ready to start at 10.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ken Peng. Welcome to the Communities Council on Ethnic Issues, CCOEI's 2020 Annual General Meeting. I feel truly honored to be the Master of Ceremonies for this year's AGM. Just before we start, I would like to make a few introductions to the housekeeping matters. Please remember to stay muted. Keep yourself muted at all times until your name is called. And also, please kindly rename yourself on Zoom to include the organization and title, and also type your name and your organization into the chat function in Zoom so that it's good for the record of the attendance. Thank you for your cooperation. And I would like to also take the time to thank you, Dan Martinez and Silver Dollar Media. Dan is the expert and technical advisor and expert who has been working very hard behind the scenes to ensure the quality of all these online meetings, the technical aspects are running smooth and everything fall into place. And this has been quite a difficult time and strange time of the year, and we are all learning to adapt to a new way of communication. And Dan's expertise in the new communication and digital communication and tech really helps us in this time, and we really couldn't have pulled this off without your help, Dan. So thank you, Silver Dollar Media, and we really appreciate your help and support. And if you remember me from the recent CCOEI's Multicultural Virtual Concert, I'm also a piano teacher and performer. And I feel very grateful for the opportunity to be able to perform for you once again today. So without any further ado, let's get this AGM started, and I'll start it by playing one of my original piece, True Love, on the piano, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Beautiful. Congratulations, Ken.
Thank you very much. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce Auntie Irene Norman, who is a respected elder from Mulam Mulam Indigenous Gathering Place. Auntie Irene is a proud, well-run Wiradjuri elder with a passion for cultural expression through art and music. She's recognized for producing works that have been inspired by her life and her connection to the country. Please welcome Auntie Irene.
Hello, Ken. That was beautiful, that piano. Thank you very much. And I'm honoured to be here today. Yes, I'm a proud Walwyn Wiradjuri woman, but I'm also so very proud to be an elder at Mulam Mulam Indigenous Gathering Place. It's a safe place to be for community, and they just welcome everybody. So I'd like to acknowledge that we're all on the country of the traditional owners, the Wiradjuri people, Wurundjeri people, I should say, pardon me. And I would like to pay my respects to the elders, both past and present, and to the emerging youth who will take on the mantle of the elders as they grow older. Would also like to pay my respects to the heritage of everybody attending today. Our ancestors mean everything to us in all cultures. So thank you very much for being here. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you, Auntie Irene, for the acknowledgement of country. Now, I would like to also acknowledge today's very important and distinguished guests, including Auntie Irene Norman, Jill Morgan AM, our keynote speaker today, Michael Suka, MP, Federal Member for Deakin, Bruce Atkinson, MP, State Member for Eastern Metropolitan Region, Miss Sonia Terpstra, MP, State Member for Eastern Metropolitan Region, Bray Tay, the Deputy Chair of the Victoria Multicultural Commission and the Vice President of the Communities Council on Ethnic Issues, Mr. Peter Lemonis, representing Neil Angus, MP, State Member for Forest Hill, and also Michael Van Fleet, the Chairperson of Multicultural Arts Victoria. So Sam, I'll pass it on to you.
Thank you, Ken, and good morning, everyone. The CCOEI Multicultural Excellence Award was introduced in 2018 to acknowledge multicultural excellence in programs and projects undertaken by members of the Migrant Settlement Committee. The awards are presented each year, and usually there are 2 awards. However, due to the pandemic, it was decided to allocate 4 awards this year. Many MSC members, both individuals and their organizations, fall into the category of providing excellence in settlement, as well as promoting participation for all in the Eastern Metropolitan Region of Melbourne. A number of nominations were received, and all were very high quality and deserving. Of the 4 awards this year, 3 awards are individual awards, and 1 award is for a community organization. The awards this morning are not presented in any special order, and to keep the time, each award recipient will be invited to speak for a minute. And it's with great pleasure that CCOEI announces the recipients of the CCOEI Multicultural Excellence Awards for 2020. And we will start with the Organisation Award, which goes to the Women's Friendship Group. Just a few words about the Women's Friendship Group. The group is a non-denominational, non-political, multicultural group for senior cold women to meet in friendship and harmony to avoid social and cultural isolation. The Women's Friendship Group has representation of women from 40 diverse cultural backgrounds. Over the past 14 years, these talented women have formed lovely friendships and have given of their talents to communities both around Victoria and overseas. You can access more detail about the Women's Friendship Group in the CCOEI Annual Report now online. To accept the award on behalf of the Women's Friendship Group is its president, Helen Jucevic, OAM, and to present it is Bruce Atkinson, member of the Legislative Council of Victoria. And I'm not sure whether Bruce is there, but it's over to you if you are there, Bruce.
Yes, I am.
Right, welcome.
Good morning, everybody. And can I again say that the opening to the meeting with the piano performance was fantastic. A great way to start a meeting and to put us in a very good mood. And terrific to also have Auntie provide such a warm welcome to us all in terms of the welcome to country. This has been an extraordinary year for us all, and for so many organisations, there has been a significant challenge to keep in touch with their members and to support their members. And so organisations like this one that Helen's associated with are just so important in the work that they do in any year, but more so this year. I know Helen and know the work she does across a range of areas, and particularly with refugees and people who are looking at achieving citizenship and so forth, the support that she provides to people in that sense. And particularly, as is recognised by this award, the women's group that has been so supportive to its members and the community more generally in this past year. Helen, well deserved. I know that you and your team do a fabulous job, and I am just delighted to have the opportunity on behalf of the organisation to make the award to you this year and to recognise that fine work that you've been doing. Might I also, just in closing, acknowledge all my parliamentary colleagues and certainly the representatives who are here with us today from so many organisations that are doing fabulous work in our multicultural communities. And I certainly look forward to seeing Jill Morgan, who I haven't seen for quite some time now, thanks to the COVID-19 issues, because Jill is a good friend of mine. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Helen, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you very much, Sam. Bruce, thank you for those very kind words. Firstly, before I start, I'd like to introduce two of our executives. On my left here is Lois Perry. Hello, everybody. Lois does all the strengthening exercise programs and has been running that for a number of years. And on my right, Lena Bonolo. Lena is responsible for our craft group, which she has coordinated, and they have made in excess of 8,500 items for the community. So both of these ladies have put in a tremendous effort. But I'd like to also thank Sui, Cynthia and Sam, on behalf of all the members, to have a recognition like this of ladies perhaps might be considered in their twilight years, but the ongoing benefits that they receive in doing this, but what they give back to the community is an absolute tribute to senior ladies. Many of them are in their 90s. So thank you very much, and I'll accept this. I'll just bring it up on, whether you can see it there, on it's a beautiful award, and we'll treasure this very much. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Helen.
Excuse me, Sam, may I just also say Michael Van Vliet is online. Michael, 14 years ago, I approached with the concept of the Women's Friendship Group in his offices in the city. And after 45 minutes of having a chat to him, Michael came back with a grant for us to start. So I'm ever indebted to him. Thank you.
Well, that's wonderful. It's great to get that kind of detail as well. Yes, quite visionary, isn't it? And well worth it. Of course, the Women's Friendship Group does all sorts of other stuff, which engages people overseas as well. So thank you, Helen. Now we go on to the individual recipients of the Multicultural Excellence Award, and one of the three is Ada Poon. Ada is the service coordinator of the Centre for Holistic Health. Ada is committed to working with emerging communities and disadvantaged groups. She's been working with the Chinese community in Victoria for over 20 years. She has initiated and developed many innovative projects over many years. In the last few years, Ada has piloted projects to address and promote the mental well-being of Chinese international students, and has worked with scholars to conduct a research program to evaluate the effectiveness of mental health first aid in increasing Chinese international students' mental health knowledge, reducing their stigma with regard to mental illness, and improving their help-seeking skills with formal services. I would like to acknowledge Dr. Wilfred Wang, Vice President of the Centre for Holistic Health, who is also attending to celebrate Ada's achievement. Bruce, would you please present the award to Ada?
Well, Ada, what a delight it is to also have the opportunity to present you with the award on behalf of the organisation today, and to recognise the work that you've done. And no doubt, again, with the support of a team in terms of assisting international students. International students are really important to Victoria. It's a very significant export income for our state. But I've always actually said that what's more important about those international students is that they have an opportunity to see Victoria and Australia up close as they do their studies, and they go back to their own countries into leadership positions with an understanding of Australia and an opportunity to become real bridges between their countries and our state and country. So the support that we provide to international students while they're here is just so important. And the work that you're doing, Ada, in this, you know, with the students through your program is very commendable and very important. And I'm delighted that it's been recognised by the association today with this Multicultural Award. Congratulations, Ada.
Thank you, Bruce, and it's over to you, Ada. Ada, would you unmute yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, it is my honor to get the reward, and I think I have been supported by the community and work together with many organizations. I think that the award is not only present. It's not for me, for the whole community and my whole team. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Ada. Thank you. Dilna's Billy Moria also receives the Multicultural Excellence Award. Dilnaz is well known and respected for her networking skills. Her work is supporting the Matter of Trust project on elder abuse demonstrated her partnering skills to achieve the common goals of prevention of financial abuse and access and equity in cold communities. Dilnaz has participated in many Migrant Settlement Committee initiatives. As a proactive member, Dilnaz has supported many forums and community building events such as the Together in Harmony project. This initiative brings together refugee communities and the Indigenous community to celebrate Harmony Day. Dilnaz is skilled in delivering key messages and is a dedicated and committed community volunteer, giving much more with a smile and delivering above the call of duty every time. I would like now to invite Sonia Terpstra, member of the Victorian Legislative Council, to present the award to Dilnaz. Over to you, Sonia.
Thank you very much, Sam, and it gives me great pleasure to be able to attend the AGM here today. Not only am I attending on my own behalf, but I'm also have great pleasure in representing the Minister for Multicultural Affairs at this event, the Honourable Ros Spence MP. And she passes on her best regards to everybody here at the AGM in acknowledgement of the wonderful work that your organisation does. Also just want to thank Auntie Irene for that wonderful welcome to country. And also I want to thank Ken for his beautiful piano rendition to start off the AGM. It sets a really nice tone for commencing the meeting. So thank you, Ken, and thank you, Auntie Irene. And I also just want to acknowledge that we're meeting on, well, I'm meeting on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. So look, yes, and of course, Sam, that was a very lovely and apt introduction to Dilnaz. It's my great pleasure to be able to give this award to Dilnaz in recognition of her work within her community. She's a fantastic volunteer and has volunteered for many organisations, but the Whitehorse Manningham Libraries as well as your organisation. But also the Migrant Settlement Committee, the Eastern Region, the Communities Council on Ethnic Issues, Women's Health East, Interfaith Networks, Coal Groups, it goes on and on and on. So she is an amazing volunteer and contributes a lot of her time. And I know that many women in the Eastern Metropolitan Region benefit from her amazing commitment and volunteerism. So I just want to thank you, Dilnaz, for your diligence in engaging with community members for promoting health, equity and equality for all. And congratulations on your award. Your work is greatly valued and appreciated, and I look forward to you continuing in your role. So thank you. And best
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you very much. And Dilnaz, it's your go.
I don't believe I see Dilnaz in the...
Really? Okay.
I think with Dilnaz, she was trying to attend 2 meetings at once this morning. Typical Dilnaz, always rushing around. So we will get back to Dilnaz later, but thank you, Sonia, for a wonderful introduction, Sam, and also Sonia to commend Dilnaz. And it's all being recorded, so we'll be able to play it back to Dilnaz later.
That's wonderful.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you. The Multicultural Excellence Award is also presented to Marilyn Spratling. Marilyn is a refugee health nurse practitioner and coordinates the Refugee Health Program, the RHP, at each social and community health at the East Ringwood site. The Victorian Government funded RHP was extended to the Eastern region of Melbourne in 2009. And Marilyn was appointed to the position of refugee health nurse at each to help establish the program and its model of healthcare for people of refugee and asylum seeker backgrounds. Since then, Marilyn and the RHP team have provided refugee health assessments and care for over 5,000 refugees on their arrival in Australia, for refugees who have fallen through the healthcare gaps, and also people seeking asylum. I would like to acknowledge Russell Ambier and Judith Murray, who have leadership management roles at each, who are with us to celebrate Marilyn's achievement. And once again, I would like to invite Sonia to present the award to Marilyn.
Thanks again for that introduction, Sam. And I'm noting as well, just in reading through the materials, that Marilyn has also been very active with the ANMF in writing some e-learning modules about caring for refugee and asylum seekers and in terms of the healthcare needs of those particular groupings. So it's something that no doubt is very important, that we are able to make services and be able to care for refugees or people who are seeking asylum in Victoria. And so I just want to thank you, Marilyn, in giving you this award. I just want to thank you for your continuous commitment to providing vital healthcare services to people seeking asylum. Your work, particularly considering the challenges presented this year during the COVID-19 pandemic, has really been essential to promoting community wellbeing. So I just want to thank you very much again for your work and let you know it's very much appreciated, and congratulate you again on your work and this well-deserved award.
Wonderful. Marilyn.
Oh, unmute myself. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Sonia, very much, and Sam, for those really kind words. I have a small thank you speech, limited to a minute, I hope. The Community Councils on Ethnic Issues is one of the most outstanding and effective organisations advocating for refugees and migrants in the east of Melbourne. Each refugee health program has benefited from the Council and the Migrant Settlement Committee's support from the program start in 2009 and in an ongoing capacity. I am honoured to receive this award from such a significant organisation. I work with an incredibly committed professional team, and of course I couldn't do this work if it wasn't for the team that I'm part of, and it's because of these people that our program achieves what we can do in this area of refugee healthcare. I wish to acknowledge the refugee health nurses I work with, Jane, Maria, Trevina, Allison, our administration officers, Linda and Margaret, our GPs, and Russell Ambire and our manager, Andrew Murray, our team leader, and I thank them both for being here today. Each refugee health program also works alongside equally committed organisations in the East, AIMS Australia, Migrant Information Centre, Croydon Baptist Church, just to name a very small number of those, and there are many more. And our work could not be possible without their support and collaboration, and I acknowledge their wonderful work in the East as well. Thank you to the Council for this award, particularly Sam and Cynthia. I get like this, particularly Sam and Cynthia and all those who have supported me and our each program along the way. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, and the award. Cynthia, sorry.
It's great. That's wonderful. Thank you for your kind words too, Marilyn. We appreciate your great work and the work that each does. I believe that Dilnaz is now on board. Is that correct? Dilnaz, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Sam.
Right. Sonia presented you with the award just before, and we were wondering where you were, but anyway, you are there, and I'm just wondering whether you'd like to respond. That is, if you could take a minute to say a few words about the award and about your experience.
Thank you very much. Thank you to CCOEI, and thank you to all the members and the team that manages it. I think I'm a little different in terms of not being with any sector or organization. My field is a different field of banking, but through banking and finance, we see family violence, we see settlement of migrants, we see elder abuse. So I got interested in that through a different segue. And I think people like me, the reason why I say that is because we're quite independent of any organization. So our support or our advocacy is bipartisan. It's for all, and see how we can help faith communities, cultural communities, liaise with state government, local councils, organizations in the community. And thank you very much to every single member of CCOEI who rocks up for meetings, virtually or physically in the past. Thanks to state government, to Sonia and others who have been very supportive. Thanks to all the local governments who have always been there for us, and we hope who continue to be there for us. And looking forward to a fantastic 2021. Thanks, everyone. Very thrilled with this beautiful award.
Thank you very much, and well deserved. I'd like to, before we go on to our next segment, I'd like to thank both Bruce and Sonia for presenting the awards, and congratulations to the organisation, to the Women's Friendship Group, and to Ada, Marilyn, and Dilnaz for accepting the awards. At this point, I would like to hand over to Gina Etienne for the live membership segment. Over to you, Gina.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gina Etienne, and I'm a member of the Communities Council of Ethnic Issues, as well as the manager of Consumer and Community Engagement at Eastern Health. I'd like to give you a little bit of summary about the Life Membership Award. So they represent an honor bestowed on individuals or organizations in recognition of their outstanding contribution to migrant and refugee settlement in the Eastern region. The Life Membership is presented in recognition of the contribution made to the Migrant Settlement Committee, as well as the multicultural community, where the contribution is at a high level, is constant over time, and often goes beyond the call of duty. So, ladies and gentlemen, I now have the pleasure and privilege to present, on behalf of the Communities Council of Ethnic Issues, life membership to Chris and Heather Cosgrave. So during their long association for the past 14 years with the organization, they have not only demonstrated their commitment and dedication, but they have also been instrumental in creating a better understanding of the Aboriginal culture amongst the migrant and refugee community. So there are probably several examples of them showing their commitment and dedication along these 14 years, but two of them that come to mind is the association with Malamalam Gathering Place, where we've been invited to a lot of events, like showing us, demonstrating how the Aboriginal culture looks like, etc. And I think in this environment where we want to create a sense of harmony, it is important that the newcomers, whether migrants, whether it is refugees, that they understand the Aboriginal culture. And a point that I found that was really very useful to understand how to say the acknowledgement. Yes, so congratulations to you, Chris and Heather, for the life membership. And here are the certificates. And as you can see, we missed out on the signature, but they will come by post with the signed ones. Yes.
Great. Congratulations, Chris and Heather. Fantastic.
Thanks. Look, we are very fortunate that we can do our, I'm going to call volunteering for the moment, but to us it's not volunteering, it's working with friends and bringing people together. It's like family. So the award means a lot to us, but it's a joy to work with Kiwi, it's a joy to work with Mullen. And thank everyone. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, I think it's back to me, Gina. This next segment of the AGM is the Volunteers of the Year Award. And I'd like to start by saying that volunteers are the heart and mind, the soul of CCOEI and the MSC. In fact, CCOEI is totally volunteer. And we're very glad to be of service and support of the diverse Victorian community of Eastern Melbourne. And this year we recognise two of our recent volunteers for their special work, particularly during the pandemic. Before calling on Jill Morgan, AM, to present the awards, here are a few details about them. And the two volunteers are Ken Peng. Ken, as we all know, is a piano teacher. He has worked very hard with Wetai and Dan Martinez to implement the Multicultural concert series from the initial planning stage to delivery. Due to COVID-19 restrictions and social distancing, Ken took on many roles at once. Talent scout, beginner mentor for young musicians, mentoring them in their first performances, performing on piano while streaming from a camera, and being the MC. Well done, Ken, and thank you. And our second volunteer that we are recognising is Megana Patel. Megana has been instrumental in designing the CCOEI annual report and has put many hours of work to get it to publication stage. Megana has contributed her marketing expertise in many facets of her volunteer work. Through research, she was able to help recruit artists for the Multicultural Concerts program. In addition, she has assisted with social media such as the CCOEI Facebook and LinkedIn. Well done, Megana, and thank you. I'm afraid I have not kept track as to the attendees at the moment, so I'm not sure whether Jill is available now. Is Jill?
Yes, I am.
Great. Jill, would you please present the volunteer awards to Ken and Megana?
It gives me great pleasure to present Ken and Megana at the awards. I had the pleasure of seeing the 4 concert series, and it was absolutely amazing. And what both these volunteers have done is absolutely amazing. So as you said, they are the heart of the community. So a big congratulations to both of you.
Great. Thank you very much, Jill. I'm just wondering at this point in time, back to Ken, and perhaps in relation to the guest speaker note for this morning. But it's up to you, Ken, as you are there emceeing. Over to you.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, thank you so much, Sam and Jill, for presenting the awards. And it is such an honor to have received this encouragement from you. And it's very grateful to be able to serve the CCOEI and the community, and hope to keep contributing in the many years to come. And also congratulations to Megana as well, and hope to keep working with you. So now I would like to, since Jill is here now, I would like to invite Jill to do the keynote speech. So I'll introduce Jill once again. So for over 25 years, Jill has worked extensively in the multicultural and indigenous arts in Australia. She is the Deputy Chair of the Ethnic Communities Council of Victoria and the Director of the Australian Art Orchestra. Jill is also the former CEO of Multicultural Arts Victoria and Executive Director of CUSHA, the Multicultural Arts of Western Australia. I will now call on Jill Morgan, AM, to address the audience. Thank you, Jill.
Okay, thank you, Ken. It's a privilege being having you introduce me. I can see you're going to be quite an important player, piano as well as a contributor to the diversity in Victoria, and what you've done is a real credit. So I'll just try and share the screen. Just 2 seconds. There we go. I'd like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri country, and I also acknowledge the importance of culture and connection to country for all Aboriginal people. Always was and always will be Aboriginal land, and I pay my deep respect to elders past, present and future. I'd like to set the context and share this quote with you. I think it's really important. The arts not only enhance human development, but also help shape the social, physical, cultural and economic identity of a community, spurring economic, social and cultural development, creating stronger social cohesion and connection, revitalising fragmented or disenfranchised communities. This intentional intersection between art and culture and community is creative placemaking. I think you'll agree 2020 has been a year like no other. It has taken a pandemic to highlight what we value in our community and also expose the fault lines in our community, including systemic and structural inequities, which have impacted on, unfortunately, our most disenfranchised and vulnerable. During COVID, though, the arts, as we've seen through the CCOEI performances, have importantly played a vital role. They have inspired, helped connect us, provided solace, escape, comfort, even a little magic, and at sometimes much needed distraction. I think culture and acknowledgement of the importance of culture is an extremely effective way for communities and individuals, both established and emerging, to feel connected and feel part of the community. Arts and culture play a vital role in stimulating debate and can engage our country in a vision for the future, one that embraces cultural democracy. At this point in time, I believe we need art more than ever, great art that is diverse and art that is innovative and can bring us together to heal and create a better future. Art, importantly, can, I think, create a sense of belonging and well-being and can stimulate dialogue with our First Nations people. And it is critical to the successful settlement of new arrivals. It is therefore crucial to enhancing social cohesion, economic, social and cultural sustainability for our community. And it makes me wonder, you know, if we have such effective tool of arts and culture, why then do we still have such a long way to go with reconciliation with our First Nations? Why are mainstream media and arts organisations largely presenting from a Western lens? And why are Australia's multicultural settlement programs, which are based on principles of early intervention and needs-based services and fostering social and economic participation, not embracing arts and cultural participation? Why is racism still so prevalent? I think now is an ideal time to look at what we value and consider the ethical questions of our time and look at how we shape our community post-pandemic. We need to reject the status quo and really take action by decolonising our placemaking. COVID has demonstrated we can pivot and we can take on a huge change as a community and do things differently and show compassion. It is well known that the arts can enrich our quality of life and improve our well-being. But now more than ever, we need to ask whose quality of life and well-being is being improved. COVID has amplified the gaps. And as a community, we can innovate and create great art, great cultural programs, develop new models of working that are inclusive and non-hierarchical, that engage grassroots and allow different voices to be heard. To build a better community, we need to share culture, to tell stories and genuinely acknowledge who has been marginalised in our community. Too often, placemakers implement their own ideologies in a space with little regard to the immeasurable, intangible, and sometimes invisible effects of people who occupy it. If we want real change, we have to be courageous and listen. This was really evident in aged care with TPVs during the COVID crisis. A creative community vision must continuously evolve and embrace new ideas while balancing conflicting nature of present, past, and future. We must have a vision that embraces the climate of change, changing ideas, cultures, migration patterns, community values, and character of place. While new ideas can come from many different places, arts and culture are crucial to social innovation and engagement. In the COVID lockdowns recently, people turned to online connections. The arts created an opportunity to re-engage and connect, but importantly focus on what we value in our community. In the Black Lives Matter movement, the importance of truth-telling has been loudly voiced and acknowledged. This has effectively changed Australia's narrative, I believe, for the better. Building meaningful community engagement with First Nations people towards reconciliation through art and culture can benefit our whole community. And I think, you know, CCOEI's recognition of the, First Nations is really important, and it's a valuable contribution that CCOEI are making to the community. And arts and culture can create new ways of thinking, and we can find creative ways to contribute to our ever-changing world. We can become more compassionate and one that respects one another. Should be our core values. I think the world of art and culture is a real source for defining our cultural expression, giving voice and ensuring individuals and communities feel a tangible sense of real belonging. When we look in our mirror, what do we see? Do we see a reflection of all of our community? Arts and culture can impact positively on our individual well-being, our social cohesion, and our national identity. As a nation, our identity and character can be strengthened by a respectful appreciation of various experiences of Indigenous culture and of our many multicultures. Wesley Enoch is the First Nations playwright. He's a theatre director. He grew up in a biracial family, and he's also the artistic director of the Sydney Festival. In a recent article, he stated, "Art is good for your health, culture is good for your community, story is good for your sense of self. During lockdowns and restrictions, people turn to arts and culture to get through. Books, film, music, live streaming of performance, digital galleries, cooking, podcasts, conversation, you name it. The powerful arts, the power of arts and culture. The mental health benefits are obvious, but also the concepts of social cohesion and collectivism have been engaged through engaging in the arts and have been demonstrable. We should be looking now at what is ahead of us: economic recession, climate change, interracial tensions, First Nations sovereignty, and the age divide. Many of us have utilised lockdown like Wesley to reflect on the best and worst in our community. We all acknowledge COVID. During COVID, not everyone experienced the crisis equally, and some parts suffered more. Think about our new refugees, our artists, our international students, the aged, people on temporary visas, and some of the communities that were targeted for racism, like the African and Chinese. Do we want these inequities to exist post-COVID, or is COVID an opportunity for us to refocus and strengthen and value what we, really look at what we value? Can we shift the paradigm? This is where I think agencies like yourself, the Ethnic Communities Council, MAV, organisations like this have a really important place to play. Arts and culture can create an inclusive platform, and it's also an opportunity to hear new voices and new stories. We can, it gives us an opportunity to flip the power dynamic. Arts and culture can allow us to think differently, and understand the historic, cultural and economic social context of communities, and this will help us navigate to the future. The intersection of diversity and arts is a really powerful one. It can give expression to lived experience of First Nations and multicultural Australia together. It ensures our mirror is reflective and inclusive of all. Going forward, we can strategically build our community, but it requires careful decision-making and planning, and I believe democratic design. We need to ensure a strong commitment to the arts, diversity, human rights and equality. We must allow our values to guide our practices, resulting in actions that reflect our deeply held convictions for justice. Policies and programs must be developed that respect cultural values of all cultures. Diversity and arts will, I think, are a roadmap to the way forward. Innate in the creative process is a willingness to find creative solutions. If we can expand our perspectives and think and act collectively and adopt diversity, arts, and cultural democracy, we will actively address the lack of visibility and disadvantage of many in our community. We need to ensure a future roadmap is one that decolonises the arts and proudly embraces diversity. By embracing diversity, equality of opportunity, we can build our highly valued, rich history of multiculturalism and our First Nations for the benefit of all the community. And I'd like to just applaud the multicultural, all involved in the Multicultural Twilight Concert Series. The artists were astounding. They were from new and established communities. They were from the east of Melbourne, and they demonstrated what is possible when we come together respectfully and acknowledge First Nations. We stepped outside our comfort zone, and you were courageous and you shared culture. The concert created understanding, it created respect, it created empathy, and it was a signpost towards a better future, a socially cohesive one, and one that we could all play part in and be proud of. I enjoyed every single concert. There was such an immense talent on show, and I would like to congratulate everyone. Cultural democracy can revitalise our community and can help shape the social, physical, and cultural and economic identity of our community. It can spur economic, social, and cultural development. So don't underestimate what you've done. Keep doing the fabulous work that you're doing. And in conclusion, I'd just like to say, during COVID, as a community, we have collectively and individually managed to take on dramatic changes. We've taken on ways to do things differently. It's now time for cultural democracy to be at the heart of our community and placemaking. Let's all together flip the dynamic, create cultural equity, and build a better community for all of us using arts, diversity, and culture to make a real change. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jill. On behalf of the CCOEI and the Migrant Settlement Committee, I would like to thank you for your wonderful and valuable insights on multicultural arts and also social cohesion. And I particularly really like the point that you shared about compassion, because that's such an important element that unifies every one of us in the community and human being. And deep down, I believe we all have a good heart that we want to share, and hope we can all unite together and make a better place. And thank you so much for the encouragement at the end about the concerts. And everyone in CCOEI had contributed a lot to the concert series, and it couldn't have achieved the result without all your support. So I'm very grateful and thank you. And as an artist myself, I hope to continue the journey with you all, and maybe even bring some people together, and through arts and music to connect even more people together with love. So thank you so much, Jill. Now I would like to pass on to Cynthia Shaw, today's AGM General Business Chairperson for the AGM Business.
morning, everyone. So what we're going to be doing now is the normal general business of the AGM, and welcome everyone. Some people may not wish to stay, but those who would like to stay, you're very, very welcome. So the annual report has been placed on our website. Thank you, Dan. And I sent off this morning to everyone a copy of the link to the annual report. So you'll be able to find that in your inboxes. If you don't already have it, just give me or just contact me and I will send you the link. Starting with the attendance sheet from all the attendance has been noted, and thank you for everyone who RSVP'd. Krishani is working on the attendance sheet as we speak, so thank you everyone. Apologies have been noted. If you know of any other apologies, please let me know. You can write them in the chat and that will be noted in the minutes next year. The minutes have been circulated to all CCOEI members and the MSC members. So I would like to move that the minutes be accepted. Can I have a seconder, please?
I'll second that, Cynthia.
Oh, thank you, Chris. And no business arising. So with the President's report, I would now like to call on Mr. Schweiting to deliver the President's report. Schweiting has been the President since 2017, and thank you very much for your hard work, Schweiting. Over to you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Good morning, everyone, and welcome everyone to this CCOEI 2020 AGM. I acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation and their elders, past, present, and emerging. I also acknowledge all the distinguished guests and valued members here today. For the financial year 2019 to 2020, the Communities Council on Ethnic Issues continued to promote harmony and social inclusion in the eastern region of Melbourne. This valuable and relevant undertaking has continued to thrive, even in this very challenging year of the pandemic, lockdowns, and social distancing restrictions. A major initiative commencing in March 2020 was the implementation of the CCOEI e-News newsletter. CCOEI is run entirely by volunteers who generously devote their time and valuable skills to the organization. My special thanks go to all our volunteers. In addition, a special thank you to the CCOEI Committee of Management for their unstinted support and commitment to the organization. CCOEI gratefully acknowledges the following funding bodies for their support: Victoria State Government, Victorian Multicultural Commission for funding under the Multicultural Affairs and Social Cohesion Program, City of Whitehorse for funding under the Community Grants Program, Australian Government's 2020 Volunteer Grant. Please read the full report, President's report, in the annual report provided online. I wish all of you success and a bright future in promoting harmony and social inclusion, and have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you all. I now pass you back to Cynthia Shaw.
Thank you, Shweti. And now I would like to call on Emma Chiga to deliver the Treasurer's report. Emma has been Treasurer since 2017 and this is her 4th report. So thank you, Emma, for all your hard work. We really appreciate it. Over to you.
Thank you. So firstly, I just want to say thank you to the Community Council for giving me the opportunity to serve as treasurer. I've done that for the last 4 years, and it's an honor. So with the financial report, it is the opinion of the committee that these records are a true reflection of the financial position of CCOEI, and we believe that the organization will be able to meet its obligations. I therefore move the report to be accepted. Can I please get a seconder?
I will second it. Thank you.
Thank you. In regards to membership fees, we are currently at $15 and I think $55 for organizations. It is my recommendations that fees should remain the same for 2020, 2021. And I would like somebody to move to second that, please.
I second that, Emma.
Thank you, Marilyn. In regards to election of the auditor, I move that Carl Eldridge and Associates be nominated as the audit review organization for 2020-2021, and I would like a seconder.
I'll second it, Emma.
Thank you very much. And that is it. I'll hand over back to Cynthia.
Thank you so much, Emma. Yes, we've kept the fees the same for so long now, I think for a few years. So this was not the year to change it, was it? So going on to the Sam now. So I call on Sam to deliver the Migrant Settlement Committee report. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Cynthia. Well, 2020 will definitely be recorded historically significant in the lives of individuals and nations. It's been a difficult year. For the MSC, it has been a learning challenge, similar to that of many small and large organizations. I think that we've come through well, despite the initial shock of experiencing the world upside down. I think it's worth noting that in the first half of the financial year reporting period, we had some inspiring presentations, such as the WIN program for homeless men, Elisha Care engagement with homeless people to help change their lives, humanitarian settlement services to recent arrivals, the Overseas Thai-Burma Border Asylum Seeker Sharing Hope project, fire and environment safety, Indigenous cultural traditions and history, and support for asylum seekers. Unfortunately, the planned Harmony Day event with Mullam Indigenous Gathering Place could not proceed due to COVID-19. No doubt that next year's report will capture the terrific effort to go online and connect on key issues such as mental health, human rights, employment and training initiatives, and other areas of interest during and post-COVID-19. The MSC relies on the valuable connections with member organizations to partner and to deliver activities and events. The involvement of key agencies working together is crucial to highlight gaps in services and to find solutions for and with members of COLD communities. Their participation is collaborative and leads to positive outcomes. The promotion of harmony and social inclusion is the core purpose of CCOEI and its MSC. We thank all MSC members and their organizations for their participation and support during this extraordinary financial year report period. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you so much for all your work. Now I call on Con Pagonis to tell us more about the CCOEI e-news.
Thank you, Cynthia. Well, everyone, as Cynthia mentioned earlier, a copy of the annual report was sent to everybody at 10:15, and it contains a report over the reporting period, 2020-2021, on the newsletter. I'll use this opportunity to look ahead a little bit. This calendar year, by December, we will have e-published 40 editions through to mid-December. In mid-December, we'll take a 6-week break over Christmas and New Year, and we will recommence publication in February 2021. Next year, the CCOEI will be the newsletter will be a monthly rather than a weekly publication. We are looking at switching the publication platform from LinkedIn to MailChimp, which will give us a bit more capacity to analyse our readership and to market the newsletter. I really don't want to say much more than that, other than to thank all of the management committee for having the confidence in me last February to establish and edit the newsletter, and especially to Sam and Cynthia for all of their encouragement, and also to Wei and Su Ting. You've all given me a lot of encouragement and given me the motivation to continue through the year with publishing on a weekly basis. I'd also like to give a special thank you to Dan Martinez for establishing and maintaining the newsletter webpage, and for all the troubleshooting he's done over our technical challenges along the way. And finally, I'd like to thank all of you, our readership, for your contributions to the newsletter and for giving me encouragement to continue with publishing it. Our last issue for 2020 will be on the 14th of December, and we look forward to resuming next February. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, Con, and thank you for all your hard work. It was a wonderful response to COVID when you changed from monthly editions to weekly at the drop of a hat. So thank you for doing that. Now I'd like to conduct, with the help of Marilyn Gurry, the election part of the meeting. So according to our constitution, I now spill all the positions for the previous year. So this happens every year, all the positions are spilled and then we start again. So everyone who was a member last year needs to nominate again for the new year. So Marilyn Gurry, thank you for all your help and thank you for being returning officer. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Cynthia. The CCOEI committee has allocated 12 positions for 2020, 2021. There are 4 executive positions and 8 ordinary member positions available. For the 4 executive positions, we've received the following nominations. 1 nomination for the position of president. Therefore, I declare Swee Ting Che elected as president. We've received 1 nomination for the position of vice president, and I declare Boy Tay vice president. There is 1 nomination for the position of secretary, and I declare Gina Etienne elected as secretary. And 1 nomination for the position of treasurer, and I declare Emma Chege elected. For the positions of ordinary members, we've received 7 nominations, and they are as follows: Sam Navaria, Ken Pang, Damien Finette, Con Pagonis, Krishani Dasanayaki, Wali Sultani, and Sarah Ozier. I declare all 7 elected as ordinary members. So congratulations to all members of the incoming committee. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you. And so will the new and the old committee stay behind for 10 minutes to say hellos and goodbyes? And thank you, everyone. And I now hand back to Ken.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, everyone, for attending the AGM today. And I now announce the meeting is now closed. And to mark this important occasion, I'm going to play a short melody from Show Hands attitude while you're locking up. Thank you.